4th of July. Please welcome the American Pie. It's Mason Cox. Hail to the Chiefs, Sam.
Hail to the Chiefs.
Quite appropriate. Have you got something to celebrate?
Well, I thought I might give this present to him at the end.
No,
but,
the hail to the Chief.
All right, I've got this. I've got this. I hesitate to do this because I don't know what your reaction will be, but.
I think it looks better on you, to be honest.
You're not happy with that? Not happy with...
Not
a Trump fan?
Not a Trump fan.
Not a Trump...
You can wear it, though. You can put it on.
Yeah, not a Trump fan? Well, all right. Well, I said I should have given it to him at the end. He mightn't speak to us anymore. Yeah.
That's a nice colour. It goes with your neck. Mason, welcome. When you decided to come to Australia to play football, did you ever think in your wildest dreams that you would be on 2 footy shows tonight, because you're on the Mailbag show earlier tonight, and on the footy show tonight, you've got Hail to the Chief with a band coming out, and you're going to play in front of 90,000 people against Essendon on the MCG.
It's a wild story. It really made me feel at home. I was actually, it sounded like 2 shotguns going off behind me, so I really appreciate that.
When you thought you were back in Texas, did you?
Yeah, real Texas kind of theme. But no, they did really well. They're in tune. They've gone well, and yeah, appreciate you guys letting me in here, and I'm excited to be on.
Now, are you surprised? I'll take this off in case it disconcerts you. Are you surprised how readily you've come to grips with our game? Because a lot of people, even who are born in this country and are growing up with it, just never get control of it like you have at this early stage.
I appreciate it from a legend like yourself. I've been fortunate enough to have some amazing people behind me, whether it be coaches and players, that have helped me out along the way. And the credit goes to them because really I started scratch from nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
I was just a blank page. So it really, I'll just put the effort in and the time, and the rest of the skill stuff is all they're doing.
What's the hardest thing has been to come to grips with in our game?
The
kicking, the marking.
The kicking's pretty tough.
360 degrees.
Yeah, 360 degrees. I think every once in a while you got someone jumping on your head, which is not ideal. He tries to jump on me every once in a while too. So it's part of the job. But yeah, I think the kicking part has probably been one of the hardest. But I think with that, it just comes with repetition more than anything. I know a lot of kids have grown up their whole life kicking a football, and I haven't had that, 10, 15 years of experience.
Yeah. I've got some photos of you playing basketball. Now, you had a soccer background as well, didn't you?
Yep.
But playing basketball. Tell us about how far did you get in basketball in college?
So that's Joel Embiid, that first photo, who plays for the Philadelphia 76ers now. So I played at the top level of the collegiate level, and was fortunate enough to get that gig, and was a walk-on at the beginning and a walk-on at the end, and never was on scholarship. So was kind of, I guess, the guy that was in the background and never really taken seriously. And then towards the end of my last year, I was fortunate enough to get an opportunity, and just like AFL, I made the most of it, and it landed me here.
So can I just indulge me for a second, Bill, because this is one of the greatest moments that I've actually had as a Collingwood fan.
Go back to
Collingwood fan. Anzac, no, I was in the stands. I was sitting next to Mason's mother and father, and his brothers were there, and it was his first ever game on Anzac Day, of all things, and you wouldn't believe what happened with his first kick.
Back inside, more low trajectory kick. Oh, this could be a fairy tale.
Look at his
Look at the eyes.
Got the strut.
Didn't even turn around. No, I don't even go look for that.
There we go.
He's a cowboy.
Wow.
As they all are at that university, and he rides it home.
I love the fact that every player on the ground came and congratulations.
Tell us about, you clearly understood the situation on Anzac Day and the significance of the game, but can you just give us a little bit of an insight in what that meant, because the journey has been so great for you. Your parents jumped up. I nearly jumped out of the stand. Everybody did. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, I was quite fortunate. My whole family came out. So I had both brothers, mom and dad, and I think that was one moment where I was given my jumper by Darcy Moore, a guy who I was really close with at the club and still am. And that moment kind of set me up for a special day, I think. Whatever happened during the game was going to happen, but obviously that first kick and having mom and dad and everyone else there to experience that was amazing, and something I'll never forget, and I'm very grateful for.
Now, it's a small family you've got there. You tip it just under on 7 foot. The rest of the family,
sure.
Have a look at
What happened to your little sister there?
No, it's a couple of friends of mine. She gives me some clothes and stuff, Dub's clothing. So she's she hooked me up, and that's just kind of her family.
Hey, what did you know about Australia before you come over? And don't say kangaroos, right?
Do you know where the Philippines are?
What did you know about the great land?
Oh, everything kills you probably is the number one thing.
Yeah.
I knew Sydney. I didn't even know what Melbourne was. I'd never heard of Melbourne.
Never heard of Melbourne.
I knew Sydney because the Olympics were there,
Yeah.
and that was kind of the reason I knew mostly about Australia. But no one traveled to Australia because it was a beach holiday destination. If you want that, you go to the Caribbean. Which, so it was quite a unique experience for me to come over here my first time and to see, not knowing AFL was, and just see how crazy people are for it in Melbourne was quite stunning. Like, I just
and
couldn't
in the
believe
end,
it.
you had a lot of clubs going after you, didn't you? There was
A
a number of
few.
clubs,
I think there's about 5 interested. So there's 5 that went to the US Combine that year. And was fortunate enough that I think 3 of them gave me contracts, and Collingwood was one of them.
So are you an ambassador for Australia now when you go back, or when you speak to your friends from America? Do you tell us?
I've got a
what
bit
do
of
you
an
tell them?
Australian twang, so I will say
No, you
that.
haven't got an
I'll
Australian.
go back. Nah, not yet.
Yeah, no,
Mate.
not yet.
Now,
Now this will
frothies.
sound a very simplistic question, but the sport that you played, basketball, is a round ball. How long did it take you to just be able to handle that oblong ball of ours? And mark it. You had a little trouble marking when you first started, I believe.
Yep,
But
yeah.
you've got on top of that. It's just getting control of that ball. It's not like a gridiron ball, really, is it?
No, it's very different. So I spent the first 3, I was about 3 months where everyone else went on vacation and it was an off season, and I spent those 3 months just every single day at the club, spending it with Kirby McRae and Anthony Rocker. And,
Someone kicking the ball to you? And
just kicking, it would have been probably 1,000 kicks a day or
So
something.
he was jumping on the
And-
bag non-stop, but you'd go down and it's a credit to the hard work. Sam.
is.
There's no fluke. He's worked and worked and worked at it and worked at his craft.